Hi, everybody. This is Liz with Gaia's Wounded Healers podcast, and I'm back with Pepper today, and we are discussing energy. And hi, Pepper. And so this is part 2.2, or yeah, 2.2 of today's video. And so we were discussing how energy flows through our body. Our body is made up of energy. And why that is important is because we have energy pathways in our body. And I really didn't know too much, Pepper, about um, our energy pathways or the energy in our body. And when I was literally stuck in a bed and in a wheelchair, and my body was atrophying, it really made me start like saying, wait, what is going on with my body? I need to learn. I need to understand this because I
Yeah,
always thought that, you know, maybe I didn't believe in energy healing or chakras or whatever. But actually, when I went in and I started learning about it, I started learning about meridians, and meridians are our pathways that they flow through our bodies, and they connect our physical body to our emotional, mental, um uh I guess you would call them uh energy, right? Because we have
right.
centers. And they can, our meridians actually even connect our spiritual pathways if, you know, uh, we're focused on that. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about healing and how we can use our pathways and what chakras really are. And the meridians actually connect our organs to our skin, and they circulate the energy flow through our bodies. So in my experience doing healings and working with people, helping them to restore their health and helping them to restore their mobility, the thing that I have always found, there's an instability. Okay, there we go. The thing that I've always found in every single person I've worked with is that the blockages are always on the meridians, which are the energy pathways, right? So,
Right.
why is this important? Is because our chakras are actually like little whirlwinds of energies that flow through the meridians, and
Right.
they regulate the flow within our bodies.
Exactly.
The
It
chakras, the energies are literally like, are our bodies atrophying? Because if we're immobile and we're not moving, what happens is our body starts atrophying. And it doesn't matter if we're not moving because we're depressed. It doesn't matter if we're not moving because we had an injury. It doesn't matter those things. Those things affect our energy flowing through our body. If our energy is not flowing through our body, our immune system response cannot, it's not turned on within. So, what happens is the health of our chakras determines our physical health, our mental health, our emotional health, our spiritual development. It's all of those things. So, when we're immobile and we're not moving, our energies can get damaged or they can get blocked.
it's
And
like stagnant, like a stagnant stream. It gets really gunked up and junky and it's not
yes,
free flowing.
exactly, exactly. And this happens when we get emotionally upset, we suffer a loss, we have an accident or an injury or conflict, or we're afraid or
Mm-hmm.
anxious or stressed, all of those things. It doesn't matter. Stress is
Yeah.
stress, and it affects our energy in our body and our
Right.
energy flow in our body. And that affects our physical health. It determines our physical health. And so it's like I will just call them disturbances, right? And that our body starts sending out cortisol hormone when we get those disturbances, because
Right.
it's like another thing that happens within our body. So not only does it affect the energy flow, it starts affecting our emotional, our emotions. Even when we're physically injured, like there is one thing that will always send me into, like, I'm irritable. You know what it is? Pain. Pain. I'm like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
irritable. I'm not trying to be irritable, but I'm irritable. I hurt, you
Yeah.
know? And so the thing that I do to relieve that is clear the pain, right? So it's like
Right.
vicious cycles that our body gets into that promotes illness and it promotes stress and depression. And but if we take care and we start clearing blockages, one of the best ways that I have found to clear blockages are the herbs that I put in the salve, transformation herbal salve. It helps clear and it helps promote the flow of the lymphatic system, and it helps
Right.
clear the pain. And
Right.
when that happens, you can kind of, it's not like an over instant miracle always every single time, but a lot of times, I mean, instantly for me, because I've been working on it for so long, but I had to work on it for a minute to really start, getting there to where I can manage my pain levels and
Right.
retrain the body to stop throwing the chronic inflammation, because that's another thing that happens when our body gets so damaged, whether it's from injury or immobility or whatever, our body starts throwing chronic inflammation. And then we have arthritis every year. And then we have fibromyalgia every year. And then we have, and it goes on and on and on. And it doesn't stop until we jump in and we say, what can I do? I need to
Yeah.
breathe. Number one, I need to breathe,
Right.
and I need to focus on what can I do. And I am so thrilled to be here with you, Pepper, because we have things, and we, hopefully can give insight to people about what they can do. And we got a little bit of
Yeah.
instability on the internet again. I'm working on that. um, but anyways, so the disturbances um in our energy pathways, so upset, emotional, all those things, they create diseases in our body. And
Mm-hmm.
so um um the health of our chakras determines our physical, emotional, mental, and development, our spiritual
Right.
development. And so now I want to jump into the chakras real quick. And I'm not going to go into depth and like say, oh, you've got to learn these because of all of these things. I just wanted to bring attention in this episode to what it means to that the chakras are energy, like little whirling energies within our body. And so we have a crown chakra. It's obviously at the top of our head, and it controls and regulates our metabolism. And it also um, controls the energy flow through our pineal gland.
Mm-hmm.
Some people pronounce it a little different than I do. But one thing I want to notice about the things that are on this image right here, these are our endocrine system. These are
Right.
our right.
Hormones and yeah,
Yeah, right. And but how our chakras affect them. So when we
exactly.
are right, so we're up here at our crown, it affects our central nervous system and it also affects our thinking. So when we have a little brain fog, maybe we should think about what are the energies that are in our crown. W- Do we have blockages? What's going on? And for blockages, things that we can do is we can, if we can't uh clear the blockages ourselves, things that we can do is we can look for other healers that can help us who have
Hmm.
experienced these things and can help us, especially when we have things like brain fog. We can't always remember what we're supposed to do. So, one of the things that I always try to do, especially with people with brain fog, but I try to always do it with all my clients, is that I always try to get back in touch with them and say, how are you doing? You got it under control. How are you doing today? And just making sure that they know that I care and because
Right.
I truly do care and I truly do want to help. And so the next one is our third eye, and it regulates our pituitary gland, which is also part of our endocrine system. But it also controls and regulates the energy within our nervous system. And it affects our awareness and things like this. And the next one is our fifth um, chakra, which is our throat chakra. It regulates our thyroid and our parathyroid gland, which our parathyroid gland regulates our vitamins and minerals within our body. So it's very important to have our energies flowing through our chakras, especially when our vitamins and minerals are off within our body. So our throat chakra also um regulates our feelings, our openness, our communication, also
Hmm.
our respiratory system. Uh, the next one is our heart chakra. Now, I'm not getting really deep into these. I'm just doing a real light overview about how they connect our physical organs in our body to our
Hmm.
emotional.
Yeah,
Um,
we can get in depth on a later
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so our heart chakra regulates our thymus, and that's another part of our glands, our thymus gland. And that is where our lymphatic system is regulated at our heart.
Hmm.
That is where our immune system is affected and regulated at our heart. However, our lymphatic system ends right at our collarbone and flows, ironically, all the good fluid that flows through our body when we're using our lymphatic system, it flows up. It clears the bad things out of our body. That's another thing that I specialize in when I'm doing healing sessions for someone is I work with the lymphatic system and teach people how to help themselves. And it ends at our collarbone,
Hmm.
and the good fluid flows into the heart. Ironically, that the heart chakra, we get blockages in our circulatory system. What happens? The blood is not flowing through our circulatory system in a healthy way. And so it's, you know, decreased or whatever. Maybe we have high cholesterol or whatever. Well, it's going to decrease. So that's the reason
Right.
why the things that we eat and we put in our bodies, that's one of the important reasons why we have to put good foods in our body instead of junk foods that have a lot of preservatives in our body. it's going to affect our circulatory system, which is going to affect our lymphatic system, which is going to affect our heart and our immune system response. So, our heart also promotes emotional balance. And the next one is our solar plexus. And our solar plexus affect our pancreas, which regulates our blood sugar. So it regulates diabetes, right? So when we have diabetes, this program that I've developed, that I'm putting the class together for right now, is really important for people with diabetes or any disease to come back and to establish control of their body so that their body can start healing from within. And our energy um points have such an important uh part of that. So our solar plexus are basically the body's battery. They affect our digestion, our gallbladder, our intestines, our confidence. There's our emotional,
Yep.
our
Yep.
confidence, our self-control, our willpower. And then we go down to the little orange one. It's just below the navel, and it's called the sacral chakra, and it regulates our reproduction glands, right? It also affects our blood sugars, our sexual desires. It has a really balance on that. So when we are not, when our energies are atrophying, if we don't stop it at the energy level, then it's going to affect the physical level. And wherever your chakras are out of balance on this little chart right here, it affects these parts of the body physically. And so the last one is the root chakra, and it's the one down by the tailbone. It affects it controls our adrenal glands, which is part of the endocrine system again, which also regulates our metabolism. It it has effect on our pelvis, our legs, our feet, and then we jump into so there's the physical, right? And then we jump into our physical. It has our emotional, it connects our emotional stability, grounding, and our safety and security, our feeling of safety and security. So, the thing about all of this that I've noticed in the healing sessions that I do, when I am clearing the meridians, I start noticing blockages. They're always on the meridians, and they're not on every single meridian. They're
Mm-hmm.
on specific meridians. And I go in and just start working with the chakras, the energy that are built up, and they go in and they get thicker because they're not moving, because the lymphatic
Right.
system is not moving. Our whole body is so it just
It's
complexly woven, isn't
it's
it?
all intertwined.
It is. And so, like, some people will come and say, "Oh, I only have pain right below my, or like right behind my knee. That's it. That's the only place I hurt. I have a knot right there. I have a big knot right there." And I'm like, "Okay, okay, that's the only place you hurt." But it's not. It's really not. Usually, I go in and I start clearing the chakras, and usually it's all the same places. And I go in and I clear the sciatic nerve, because whenever there's a blockage below or behind the knee, it's usually a sign that the sciatic nerve is uh, blocked in the lower back, and then it's running down the legs, and all,
Yeah.
it's completely locked up. But the only thing that they can feel is that, oh, it hurts behind my knee, or oh, it hurts
Right.
just right here. And that is like a typical thing, but they just don't know it and they don't understand it because nobody's talking about it. Nobody's telling them. Our medical system doesn't come in and say, hey, this is just a blockage, go clear it. No, that's not what they do. They say, hey, you got pain? Oh, let me write you a prescription. Oh, you have a
Muscle
side effect
relaxant,
from this,
painkiller.
right? Oh, you have stress? Let me write you a stress pill. Oh, now you have side effects from these pills. Let me write you another pill. And then, before you know it, we got a whole handful of pills. And then, before we know it, the pills are affecting our physical health too.
Hmm.
And so that's the gist of what I was going to talk about. Did you have anything to add, Pepper?
Well, I think you did a good job covering it. Couple things I would add is, like you said, everything that happens to us, every stress, emotional, broken bone, trauma, we store it in our bodies somewhere, somehow,
Yeah.
carrying the weight of the world. Think of Atlas. Your shoulders hurt, you're carrying too much weight. You've got to pay attention to that because all that will manifest into an illness. If you've got
Yeah.
too much stress, your lungs, your heart, something's going to be affected. And like you say, the little sore behind the knee is connected to something bigger. It's not just that spot.
Hmm.
And like we had talked about before, the meridians, if you need to understand more, the people that really don't understand the meridians, they're like the blood veins that go through our bodies, except they're electrical impulses. Our brain, our heart, we have electrical impulses in our body that can be measured by machines. Well, everything in our body is electric. It's like a house. All the electric lines going through the house and the outlets, and think of that as your body. If something happens to the wiring in the house, you get a short, it doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. That's your
Hmm.
body. You get an injury, a trauma, stress, it affects your body. And your body is basically short circuiting and saying, hey, pay attention to me. And many times, not all the time, but the Western medicine, oh, here's a band aid, take this pill. It covers the pain, it covers this or that, but it doesn't get to the root. If you don't get to the root of what's causing that stress or that problem, it's going to stay there and it's going to fester and get worse and worse. So you really need to look at what is causing this pain. And then, like you say, all the meridians are connected. So what you do in one part of your body is going to affect another part. You need to really pay attention to the areas that the chakras represent and where the meridians are, like in acupuncture, acupressure, because it's really important. The energy work that I do with Reiki and the energy work you do, it's like frequencies. I use frequencies to help heal and release things. Use Reiki, and it really does help to, calm people, to get that stagnant flow flowing again. So you're like, think of the nice bubbling river that's just going right along. And if you have an injury or trauma and that stagnant pond that's pooling and getting all this crud and gunk in it, it needs to be released so your body can have free flowing. It's just, something that you need to do is to keep your body clear and free.
Yes, and that is literally most important part of healing, and being consistent and being steady. Don't give up. Healing, it didn't
Right.
take you overnight necessarily
Yeah.
to get where you are. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, accident, maybe it did, but most of the time, not. And
Mm-hmm.
healing is often a little slow, and but if we stay with it, healing is possible. Don't uh think that it's not, because I mean, even
Right.
Pepper and I both were never supposed to walk again, and here we can both walk again, right?
It
And
took, yeah.
right, it took time.
Yep. And
Um
determination. We were determined. I didn't settle for get your affairs in order. Your life's done. You can't walk again. It's like, wait a minute. Let's revisit this. And like that's where you and I both got into our healing area is healing ourselves because the doctor said we couldn't.
That's right. I think we're a little stubborn, both of us, in that way. For me, I remember one day I was only able to just barely pull my leg, my left side of my leg was, I was pulling it, dragging it, and I could only walk maybe 10 steps. And I just one day I said, I everything is taken, and every day there's a little bit more taken. And
Mhm.
what can I do? I'm so sick of what I can't do and focusing on what I can't do. Let me focus on what I can do. And that was the big change for me. And my son came over and he puts chairs and stools along my path so that I could get to the bathroom every 10 steps, you know. And I
Mhm.
just kept saying, I can do this. I'm so grateful I can do this. And I
Yep.
got through it, and I did do it, and I rebuilt the things that were atrophying in my body. And Pepper, you were just talking a second ago about the medical system and the circulatory system. And when I was laying in bed, bedridden, um, reading medical books and all of these different types of books so that I could understand how the body works, right?
Mhm.
Because they weren't
Right.
telling me.
Right.
And I felt like everything in my whole body is broken, and I need to do some studying here, because nobody's just coming out and saying it. Us, and I know I speak for you too, to have a truthful discussion, to have, the things that we've learned, the things that we've experienced, the things that we've researched. And one of the things, ironically, this is the part that I wanted to make sure I told you about. I was reading a book about the lymphatic system, right? Because that's our immune system
Mhm.
response. And they go into the history of the lymphatic system, and they talked about how a doctor back in, I don't know, the 1800s or something, the 1900s, whenever it was, early 1900s, if it was in the 1900s, I should go back and find out that date. But anyways, the doctor who was studying the body to develop the protocols, the medical
Mhm.
protocols that, you know, they are the standards that our health system relies on today, basically.
Right.
And so, hold on a second. The doctor who was studying the parts of the body to develop the protocols that our medical system is established on and uh, works on today, right? They are the
Mhm.
standard, the protocols. And he noted in his paperwork, there is a little system that runs just underneath the skin, and it has a golden substance in it, but I can't get my needle in it. So I'm just going to ignore it. And that is our lymphatic system. That is our
Yeah.
immune system response. That is our healing system within. And the medical protocols that they still use today ignored that. So he went on to say there is another vein, and he described the circulatory system, and I can get my needle in it, so I'm studying the circulatory system. So that is that hit me hard when I read that, and I was like,
Mhm.
what? Our protocols are not even designed around, they didn't
Right.
even study our body's ability to heal itself. And so I started um the natural remedies and techniques that I was studying and finding, and throwing out the things that didn't work, keeping the things that did work. And here I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm so excited for all of my experiences, because you know what? My experiences got me here. And had I
Right.
not been through all of those experiences, I don't want to do them again. Don't necessarily want
I
to do
agree.
the bad ones again. However, I don't want my neck to be or anything like that again. You know, because I did experience those things, I sat down and I started researching, and I started saying, well,
Mhm.
let me try this, let me try this, because I truly believed at that time the medical system is going to kill me if I don't take charge and if I don't do something. So
Yeah.
I started doing something. And so here I am with you.
Here we are.
So I'm so grateful to be here with you. Here we are.
I am
So
grateful to be
I
here with
think that
you.
pretty much just about wraps it up for today.
Very
Oh, thank
good.
you,
There's
Pepper.
so
Everybody
much
out
to
there, I hope
share.
that there is,
There's so
yeah,
much to
so much
share
to
on
share.
this.
And
Yeah.
You know, one of the, oops, we got a little instability. Give it a second. One of the really important parts about being here together and being wounded healers, Pepper, is because you may have tried something that maybe I didn't try,
Right.
right? And so
Right.
you can come in your perspective and say, hey, this works for me and these
Mm-hmm.
people that I've shared it with, because you are a healer too. And then I could come in with something else that worked for me and somebody else, other people that I share, things with. And so that people have different ideas to go and research for themselves. Hey, do I want to
Right.
try this? Is this maybe right for me? And then they can make their own decision.
Yeah. Each of our bodies are so, I'm going to say the similar, but yet so different. What
So
works for me may not work for you or anybody else. But if we all share our knowledge and see what helps us and maybe helps other people.
right. And that's the reason why we're here, in a truthful, honest discussion. And sometimes the discussions might be a little difficult, a little uncomfortable, but we feel that they're necessary, and we hope that you all
Yeah.
benefit from them. And so like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye.